Hello, I'm Rainy Cat, and I'm continuing to build my candy castle. We kind of build one thing at a time. First the ice floating island, then the amethyst rock candy trees, the donut gates, the pie walls. All the see-through stuff is stuff I still need to build. And the next thing I'm going to do is root beer floats. If you like root beer floats, then this is the stream for you, although you can see you just can't taste. Mm. All this stuff I designed myself. And if you're wondering how I have designed all this by myself, then go on a low carb diet for months. You will start being able to very easily visualize all these things yourself once you get yourself off from sweets. If you have a massive sweet tooth like me, the diet's working. Otherwise, I'd be eating this rather than rather than building it. Oh boy, root beer floats. Thought of putting glass around this, but it didn't look as tasty. I decided to make it seem like it was pressing so much against the glass, all the chocolate and foam, that it was overflowing. So this one over here, um, I surrounded with glass, this creamsicle soda. But I decided to just go on the outer layer with this one. And my goal has always been the same with every single one of these things I make, and that's to make it look delicious. Mouth-watering. You want to eat it. I don't care about how good it looks, I just care about how tasty it looks. Hey, Jen. One or two people approached me asking, "Hey, can you give me tips on how to build big?" And I would say, have a powerful end goal in mind. If you don't have a powerful what you want it to be, then you won't be able to build it. Like when I wanted to build this mountain, if I just started with a pile of rocks and didn't think of a mountain, it'd never become a mountain. I started this mountain visualizing the mountain, and I managed to get to the end. If you can't see it in your mind, you can't build it. I'll just lower this a little bit. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna get a little bit of packed mud. Yeah, I'm just TPing around on this server. It's semi-vanilla, but the reason I TP around is because even though it's at just one end of my base, this is how big my base is. Um, and where's even yeah. Just to save time in building, it's easier to travel. My favorite kind of root beer floats are the ones where they come in this frosted mug. I think it's just A&W who does it, where they actually make the mug super cold. So when you put it in, the ice cream, the root beer, the foam, the chocolate, and other stuff, it doesn't just melt into slush. It kind of stays separate, and that's so much tastier than if it's all just kind of already melted down. Hey, Rick. I don't know who thought of root beer floats, but I don't think it'd be much of a reach. Like, you combine a lot of good things. You combine sometimes chocolate. You combine vanilla ice cream. You combine root beer. Uh, if you don't love root beer, then well, honestly, why are you watching this stream? I am literally building actual root beer floats. Um, And if you do like them, this is definitely the stream for you. And if you don't, then I told you in the title. It literally, I think it mentions root beer floats. But yeah, it wouldn't be too hard to think up a root beer float. It's just a bunch of the things you love rolled into one. And it hasn't really been successful with any other soda. Like, they sometimes try Pepsi floats. It's just not as good. Makes me wonder. There are some very easy combinations to think of, like, well, yeah, duh, that, of course, that'd work. That'd be delicious. But then there are some where it's like, how did someone even come up with the idea for that? Like, a further reach would be a banana split. Who thought that up? Banana split, part of the reason it's delicious is the taste. Part of it is just how it looks. Just seeing a banana split, even if you don't like it, it'll put a smile on your face. It's like, that's just a joyful and colorful looking dessert. I I was thinking of doing a candy train or a candy ship, and if I had done a ship, it'd be it wouldn't be a far reach to just go a banana split ship. It's already kind of boat shaped. In fact, that's what they call the thing it comes in. They call it banana split in a boat, in one of those boat containers. So it's almost a go-to if I were to make a ship for this candy build. That still might happen. I have a clear path, like I said, to what I want to build, but that doesn't mean I'm beyond just adding in random goofy stuff. And if this isn't a random goofy build, then, what is? Bunch of desserts smashed together into the shape of a castle floating in the sky. Especially because they're next to much more realistic builds with aged gradients. Although, it is funny that I can call my more realistic builds, well, This is cartoony. If you look, it's I went full blown cartoon on this. I did not try to make it look like a build that had any structural integrity. I don't even have doors for those yet. If ever, right now they're just they are towers, but I haven't put any doors with them. Maybe those will come. The ice cream has a door, but this being saying this is one of my less realistic builds. Look at what else I have to be able to say that. I can find it. Try. Yeah, this is one of my more realistic builds in my Candy Castle. Literally a black and white movie. Still feels weird when I go through it natural. And here's a build that looks more realistic. A mountain with a giant raccoon on it. A fairy mansion with a giant butterfly on top of it. Mansion made of ores, and look how those flowers go up. An iron farm? Yeah, that hot air balloon is an iron farm. This stuff, as crazy as it is actually sensible by comparison to my Candy Castle. The one thing I didn't take into account in building this on the server is render distance. Server can't render in all this build. Tries its best. But on this server, I was literally looking at some of the replay footage and doing this cinematic circle around to just kind of get an idea of how it would look. Just a little test for the eventual smoothed out, edited video of building this entire castle. And when I was doing a pan around, it just said, nope, render distance doesn't allow it. Half the castle is gone. It's like, that's a bad smooth circle of the build. It's only half a build. The server can't handle it. I don't know. I might actually have to do the build time lapse for this one in creative if this server can't handle rendering it all in. Because I wanted to do it in survival, but literally I don't want to show it like it's half a castle. Looks like someone came along and literally ate half of it. A Candy Castle. Or maybe I could phrase it that way and say, it's so good someone literally ate it. That's the half that's gone. It is the widest build I've ever had. If not the biggest, but definitely the widest, taking up the most chunks, even more than my Triple Peak or Mountain. Even more than my entire custom Pale Garden biome. I'm very proud of it. But, I am sad too. The rendering issues. But at least I got the build height right. My friend helped build it, helped place tens of thousands of blocks herself. Then she was like, "Are you sure this doesn't go past build height?" It's like, you think I wouldn't check? I accounted for it. I actually lowered it down so it would be below build height. But wouldn't that be pretty hilarious if I laid down 100,000 blocks and then I could only do half a castle, like shaved off the top because I didn't account for build height? That'd be pretty hilarious. What block did I need? Render. Oh yeah, that's what I need. I need packed mud. In my last survival server, there's only one way to get packed mud. Harvest mud, grow wheat manually, mix it. It was the most manual, grindy process. Automated wheat farms are super slow. You can do automatic, but one thing of wheat is just one packed mud. It took an insane amount of it. Oops. There. I didn't TP away, I just flew back vanilla style, of course. No, really, the amount of fast traveling I do is, oh, just on the map. Hmm. Yes. Yes, I do. Do you mean the map, like the Candy Castle? Yeah, yeah. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it the stomach killer. Let me see. I mean, I would love to help. If you could, of all things, actually just get the materials. I have some gold in my storage system. If you could just get more packed mud and turn this into brown concrete powder right here. Like I have the sand, I have the concrete. If you want to turn it into brown concrete powder, that would be amazing. Um, isn't it faster than I can craft it? I'm actually starting to do the stuff where it's not just a singular block, it's a lot of different blocks, so my inventory isn't too pleased with me right now. In some ways it was hard, just the amount of light blue stained glass I had to place numbed my brain. It was mind numbing. It was almost put me to sleep. But I only had to have light blue stained glass. I didn't have to manage the ratio, the different things in there. It was easy in terms of go down, bring it back up, go down, bring it back up. Easy peasy. Now I'm getting into the stuff where some of these builds use just use 10 blocks, 15 blocks, 20 blocks in a single quote-unquote tower. Oh wow, it's literally right here. My shulker. I knew that. Look at that. See that little bit there. See what I mean? It's really becoming a nightmare. A delicious, delicious nightmare. Ooh, root beer float. The only thing I want more than to make a good root beer float build is to actually have a root beer float. Well, just for the areas around the root beer float, I probably only need a shulker or two. But for the entirety of the entire build, let's see. Um, I need 3 shulkers, 3.28. So like, yeah, 3 shulkers of packed mud. If you're wondering how much I'm paying Brock to help me, I'm paying her with friendship and respect and gratitude, which is absolutely free, so I don't actually spend a dime. I mean, you know, it's eternal gratitude. Yeah, it's not like I'm just getting away with free labor, paying no diamonds. Friendship. If that came out kind of evil, that wasn't my intention. It came out with warmth and sincerity. Clutched it. Clutched. Really noticed that a lot of this stuff doesn't have much interior. In fact, none. The most I did, in fact, was just clean up the random bits of stuff to make it look cleaner. Cleaner. As for it having no interior, that is totally deliberate. Well, I didn't plan to have people help me on the exterior, but now I am. Shout out to everyone who's helped me. Thank you very much. I always planned to ask people on this server to help me with the interior because there are some absolutely incredible builders on this server. I've even had some people ask me if I'm the best builder on this server, and I will say absolutely not. There are some people whose builds I like better than my own. And I wouldn't say there's the best builder or a bad builder. Who you think is good is subjective. Who I think is the best builder, someone else might like. And in terms of best build. If you're talking about technical aspects, like how realistic it looks or something, in a very specific category like gradient, you might be able to judge someone. But in the end, isn't a build as just as good as you like it if it makes you happy? What if there's a build that's extremely complex and has a lot of things going to it, but it's just not as funny to look at as something else? Is it still the better build because it's technically superior, or is the build um the or is the build the one that you like the most? I'd have to say the build is definitely the one. The best build is definitely the one you like the most. Always try to make your builds the ones you like more than any other builds. Always do it for yourself. I'll occasionally make builds for friends or something, but that's because I enjoy doing it for a friend. So even that, in a way, I do for myself. Um, but definitely my favorite builders are the ones who can just do something that I can't do. Oh, thanks, Brock. Where it's just like, where it's just like snow. Oh no, 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 no! Please, no! Don't do this to me. Do I need snow? Uh, yeah. Let me step away for just a sec. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for that unpaid inf what is it called? Unpaid interruption? Intermission. Yeah. I need to go get some snow, and I really hope I just have some in here. Just hope I have a lot. Ice. Ice. You know what? That's enough snow. It's good. It's good. Yeah, I don't need too much snow. I just do this. I do a lot of floating around. Sorry if it makes you dizzy. If these are my first streams, and I'm just streaming, building my candy castle. I might make more streams, but I have a very specific reason for streaming this, and that's because I want to show people I do it in survival. A lot of people seem to think I use some editing software, to make it seem like I'm building it in survival. And my question is, why would you think that? Survival, even though I like it, a lot of people wouldn't like the fact that it looks very unsmooth, very clunky compared to doing it in creative. Creative is like beautifully flowing, whereas I have to do, you practically get motion sickness from watching me build in survival in those cinematic time lapse I do by comparison. So I feel like thanks that you think it looks nice, but that's definitely not the case. I've even been told you should just do it in creative. It's much smoother. But survival is just it's just my bread and butter. Um, I love survival because survival, when you're in survival Minecraft, you have a million possibilities, a million different things you can do. You can fight, you can explore, you can go around, you can enlist the help of a friend to build. Uh, you can get fun interruptions. You can make little joke builds. There's just a lot more possibilities of doing almost anything in survival, including making time lapses. But, That's it's probably the biggest thing. I haven't really seen many people do time lapses in like I do in survival. And I was like, I've seen a lot of amazing time lapses, but why not come out with something a little bit different? I think this has a place where one or two people might like seeing a survival time lapse rather than one of those creative ones. And I have a ton of fun making them. I have because you're just placing the blocks, really, just like you see on this stream, but you can tell a bit of a story with a time lapse. You can put the right music. You can put the right pacing. Like if there's a part that's more dramatic, sometimes I'll slow it down to draw it out a little longer. And if there's a part where it's just literal repetitive block placement of the same kind, I'll speed it up. So you can tell a story. And the story is in survival, which is why sometimes you'll see people pop up on the screen. Some of them are helping, some of them are trolling and trying to interrupt my build. Uh, but yeah, I'm showing this to show, yeah, I do it in survival. Semi-vanilla, because I have the little things on the server where you can teleport more quickly and save a little time, where you can get products a little bit easier. But in the end, you've seen me over the course of dozens of hours of streams having to just place these blocks with no auto placer um, or anything like that. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this would be so epic if I built this in survival. Such a big castle, because not many people do build a full-size castle of their own design in survival. And now I know why. I literally have the blocks to fill in, but the amount of block placement is hmm, how to put it. It's about as taxing as if I'm Literally drinking the things and eating the things I'm making of this size. But I like it. I like making a tasty build. Close up, you don't see that it looks like a root beer float. It looks like I'm placing down packed mud next to oak in super random formations. In fact, even though they have the same shape, these root beer floats don't have the same pattern. I altered them up. So up close, it looks like packed mud, but you go far off and you can tell that's some kind of milkshake, or in this case, a root beer float. I spent so much time just in creative staring at blocks and dividing them not into the sections like redstone or natural blocks, but delicious looking blocks and not delicious looking blocks. And even though I said I'm not much going to use concrete in any build that much, maybe a little, I completely broke it in this one because most of the time concrete looks much more delicious than terracotta, which is why this blueberry pie, I didn't make it terracotta, I made it the bright blue for blueberry pie. My favorite pie is pumpkin pie. A good pumpkin pie. I absolutely love. But even though I find pumpkin pie to be more delicious, it doesn't look more delicious than blueberry pie. Even though I like pies better than cakes, cakes look way more delicious than I did even consider, yes, banana cream. I did some I tried that out too. I used sandstone. I even tried yellow, although that turned out more lemony, but smooth sandstone did pretty well for banana cream. The problem was I stepped back and looked at it, and to some it looked like banana cream. To others, it would look like just custard, vanilla pudding. I wanted it to scream what it was, and banana cream pie was too indefinable. I did consider banana cream pie and putting caramel around it, like some of that banana cream pie has. I came really close to it, but in the end, I chose blueberry. But I really was that close to doing banana cream pie. Delicious. Or banana, that fondue. It's not called fondue, but it's caramel. Banana Foster. Well, I forget what it's called. It's delicious. There's still room. I might make a banana creams or banana something on the interior. There is still plenty of room for that. That'd be a lot of fun. Just in the sand bender. Conda. Banana cream pie to the face. Banana split. A little tricky finding the right color for banana, because you want to find one that's the right color but also the right softness. I just couldn't quite find one that worked very well. But keep the ideas coming. Bananas are definitely one that I've been considering more than once. I was considering peaches a lot. But I didn't choose peaches for a very unlikely reason. And that is because found out from more than one of my friends they don't really like peaches. And I have no idea why. Is it that particular group of friends? I find peaches to be absolutely delicious. But other foods that I've almost come close to using have been a lot of different berries. I do use blackberries, I think. I haven't used raspberries. There's salmon berries, huckleberries. There's a lot of berries I haven't or won't use. I mean, technically, I do use blueberries here, but it's not enough. That's why I put kind of these blueberry islands here and there. And sometimes you can't go for it being perfectly real either. You just need to get the point across that it's that fruit without it literally looking like that fruit. Like if you looked at these alone, you'd be like, what are these lumps? But because it's on a bunch of fruit, you can see, oh, that's an orange, it's kiwi, that's a strawberry. But what are these? Without context, these just kind of look like igloos. But that's blueberries. So looking closely around at all this stuff, you'll notice there's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't be able to tell what it is if it's sitting by itself. But because it's in a certain place, you can tell what it is. I didn't just break glass without Silk touching it to retrieve it. That did not happen live on stream. That was a visual glitch. there's a lot of other foods that I scrapped. I did consider one of the ones that I wanted to do for a while were Jawbreakers. But I couldn't quite do them justice because the Jawbreakers I know have all those tiny little sprinkles on them. The only way I could make them look like tiny sprinkles was to make the Jawbreaker that big. And then I actually did get a good Jawbreaker. But it was big enough to practically fill this area right here. Near the ending, when I was adding stuff, I actually had to keep one other thing in mind. I wanted to at least give a hint that it could stay airborne, that it could be supported. So, started using a lot of cream, a lot of drinks, a lot of lighter stuff. I actually, literally to make it sky-worthy, even though it's not, it can't even exist, but to give the feeling of that, I started avoiding some of the heavier-looking candies, like a Jawbreaker the size of planet Earth. And the way I tested if the builds looked good enough was always the same. I'd go to, I'd just show it to someone, a little kid who likes candy, and say, "Hey, what's this?" And they'd say, "Oh my gosh, yum, Jawbreakers." Which was nice because sometimes there's two things with asking adults. The first one is that sometimes they no longer like candy. And it doesn't seem good to them at all. So they're not good judges. And the other time is sometimes they can tell a little white lie and say something is good when it's not. But if I see like a 5-year-old drooling over the build, then it's like, I think that passes the test. And I know that's a weird way to test. Some people would say you should go to build experts, asking them for their feedback on how good your build is. And I'm like, well, in terms of stuffing a ton of candy in their mouth, little kids are the experts. In most cases, I'd go to someone with years of experience, but in this case, the younger the better. And they were honest too. If I didn't pull something off, someone older would, think about it and then eventually, after a few seconds, come up with the answer. But if it just wasn't immediately recognizable to a kid, I knew it wasn't good enough, and that's how I went about it. I tried to choose a lot of things where it'd be very recognizable. Even if you don't know what a root beer float is, you can kind of tell what it is. Like, you can at least tell there's chocolate in it. It's a drink. It has whipped cream on top, candy canes, cherry. The first one I made, like I said, was surrounded by glass. And didn't pass the taste test. I showed it to a friend and I said, "Oh yeah, that's a root beer float." Then I remade it and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that root beer float looks delicious." And it's like, well, there we go. It's been a very different build, in which a lot of my builds I say I need a better gradient to give this more depth. Whereas this one, I'm like, I need to dumb down this gradient to give it less depth and just to make it look more cheerful. Because the darker the blocks you put in, like the ones that are less bright, the older the food looks. So you actually want to um, avoid it. Like this used to be white wool, and it just kind of looked like cotton getting stuck in your mouth. So I switched it out to snow blocks and quartz. But typically on a white gradient, I'd use diorite, calcite. But you look at it, and on this build, it's like, what kind of whipped cream is that? Has it gone bad in the has it gone bad in the fridge? So I actually had to redesign quite a few of this to freshen it up. A lot of terracottas left, a lot of bright concretes came in, a lot of gradients went out. That root beer float used to have like 50 for different gradients, and then I myself was just like, it's too complex. Okay, red terracotta. Is that what it needs? Let's do that. Why is that not placing? Oh, it wants pink terracotta. Okay. I mean, I knew that. I was just testing you guys to see if you knew that. Why didn't you speak up about that? I knew that was supposed to be pink terracotta. I'm really all out of terracotta, huh? I think I just bought some. I could have sworn. Okay. Yeah, yum. And just as soon as I say, oh, I'm not using much terracotta, I'm using a lot of concrete. Um, like, I don't have enough terracotta. I only have concrete. Okay, go. And then I use these crafting tables to make pink. Pink. Haha! This is definitely the brightest build I've ever made, and I am actually betting will ever make. What can be brighter than a castle made of candy? It's not just the colors that are bright, it's the contrasting colors that are bright that make it even brighter. Okay, this looks really tasty. That also passes the vibe check. Nice. Let's go on to the next one. How many more do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, look how small I am compared to just this one drink. How many blocks would you say that is? That's probably 1,000 blocks, 2,000. There's one thing I could use if you're still watching this stream, Jen. I could use some terracotta. You have any? I'll pay you. You know what? You know where my diamonds are. Just literally grab my diamonds and throw them into your machines at your terracotta store, or you can just take it straight from your place and exchange the same amounts. And I insist you let me buy them. Otherwise, people live on stream might actually think I do mean the whole exploiting friends as free labor. So to make me look good, you do have to actually charge me money so people know that I'm not just leeching off my friends. And I really mean that. That said, if you're not watching, then no big. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need some, I might have some brown terracotta somewhere. I think I'm running out. That feels like I have enough, but once you start, there again, even I sometimes forget how big even a single one of these builds can be, and the blocks go quickly. I am going to be using a lot of stripped wood and buying it from a Rayak shop. And you know what? Let's say that Rayak is AFK. This stream was sponsored by Rayak shop. This one right here in the end, if you come here, you'll recognize the builds around it if you're on the server. Fantastic builds. But this shop has 3 things. They have all the leaves. This is the one place that regularly keeps leaves stocked. And it's 2 diamond blocks for a shulker of leaves, but leaves they take a while to get. 2 diamond blocks. Diamonds aren't too hard to get by comparison. Then a diamond block for a shulker of pale oak logs, and 2 diamond blocks for a shulker of stripped pale oak. For the longest time, I was just whining and complaining that leaves weren't being sold, that I had to manually harvest them, that I needed a store to stock them. And then eventually, Rayak comes out with a store that stocks them abundantly. Plenty of stock. And they're like, leaves are for sale. I'm like, yes, I get to build whole forests and just get to spend a few diamonds to get it. Because if you watch any of my videos, you'll see all the custom trees I make and will make in the future. But the moment Rayak opened the shop was the moment when the person known for making custom trees and mountains is making a totally leafless build. And not just anything, a mega build that'll take months. It's like, that's such unfortunate timing because just for me alone, Rayak sales would be going off the chart if I was doing any other um, kind of built. But it's just the funniest timing that I don't need a single leaf for this build. Having said that, that's why I made Rayok the sponsor of this video. And by sponsor, most people mean whoever pays for the editing costs, the stream time, um, to get a shout out even. I just mean something I absolutely randomly pick. Someone who almost certainly it isn't watching the stream or even knows that I stream. I don't think Rayok knows that I'm streaming. Rayok won't even ever watch this. But if you are watching this and you are on this server, finally someone has leave, someone who can actually keep them stocked. So I am serious when I say go ask Rayok for the location, because you finally, people with shulkers of diamonds don't need to go out and manually deforest a biome getting those leaves. That said, Rayok, you're the best. You're going to be one of those people I'm actually pressuring to help me with interiors, and I will be buying your leaves. And I'm not even saying that as in if you do my interiors, it's... Well, you've seen my builds. I'm going to need a lot of leaves eventually. Actually, I take that back. When I start buying your leaves, feel very emotionally blackmailed to help me do interiors. For a moment there, I was actually feeling like an honest person with integrity, but that feeling went away. I just want lots of leaves to do forest and Rayok to do all my interiors. And Emmy. Who else? Brock, Reza. But it's not just traditional interior builders. There's a lot of people where this is a castle. I'm not necessarily looking for a traditional interior. I might do things that you'd normally find on the exterior. Ooh, yeah, I need that brown terracotta. So, you know what? Let's see. Is that a... What's the terracotta biome I meant? Is that a starting? No, that's not a starting one. I'm gonna go to Brock's shop and buy terracotta. Where is it? I don't have a home set there. It's called Simply Glazed, I think. Um, yeah, it's right here. That's southeast, and Have the diamonds and I'm just kidding. I saw your teleport request. You don't have to you don't have to chase me. I'm sorry. So sorry. Will you forgive me? I'm forgiven. Free labor. I mean friendship, friendship. Thank you. Wait, there's literally there were diamonds in that chest. You saw it on my stream. I know you're listening now. Now that you brought it to me, take the diamonds, woman. Take them. I know you're listening right now. Take take a stack of diamonds. Hmm. Slavery. I don't know if I like the sound of that because if I had slaves, doesn't that obligate me to actually provide someone with like room and board, a place to stay? I don't want to be put out that much. I don't want to do that much work. I definitely prefer free labor. Not only do I get all the benefits, I don't have to actually even do anything that a slave owner would be obligated to do. Yeah, don't put that responsibility on me. Free labor. And I want you guys to know that free labor might seem bad, but don't worry. Pretty sure that Jen's old enough that this ain't child labor. It's just free labor. It's legal exploitation. Get back to work, Jen. Get it done. I mean, thank you. Thank you so much, my friend. I got so blasted by people for the last stream where apparently I was absolutely completely unaware that you were trying to hand me materials, give me materials, being a wonderful person, and I was too dense to notice. You were literally apparently swinging around in my face, and I'm just like, duh, and I don't notice you. Yeah, I got a little bit of a talk because of that. Maybe I should be slightly more aware of my surroundings. Just a tiny bit. Actually, I take that back. I refuse to take any responsibility for my mistakes. I blame anyone else but myself for my unawareness. In fact, that's a good life lesson. Why you should blame others or anything else besides yourself for your own mistakes. People are getting actually very adept at it. Like, for example, not noticing that you were there, literally showering me with free wealth and materials. I don't blame myself for noticing. I blame society for making me inattentive. We have a much shorter attention span. People shorten movies, people shorten plots, people have a shorter attention span. They don't focus in on one thing. Usually, back in the day, you accomplished one or two things. Excellent. But now, you need to accomplish a dozen small things rather than one big thing of merit. And that's why my attention was all over the place. That's just how society is. And you see, doesn't it almost sound sensible that I'm literally blaming society for not noticing you hopping up and down? Because we're good at blaming others. Um, at different things. But being able to blame yourself on something is a very good quality to have. Not on things that aren't your fault. You don't just want to beat yourself up, but being willing to just say, "Hey, that's my bad," is healthy because what comes from that is you're like, "That was my mistake, and I can improve myself. Uh, I did something bad, and now that I left it off my chest, I don't have to feel guilty and hide it like a secret. Because hiding a secret from yourself or from others, just not taking the L, can sit with you in your gut more than this root beer float. Um, being able to say, hey, my bad, is something a lot of people just don't have the ability to do. And while over excessive blaming yourself can be bad, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And some of the best people out there in any field are ones who can blame themselves well and move on with life. Like, think about it. People who are constantly knocking themselves on their head for their own thickness in a show like Hermitcraft, arguing and mumbo, they're poking fun at themselves all the time, saying, thought this was a smart idea, but it wasn't. And instead of it being, ooh, that's cringe, it's funny. They make it really funny. If you watched any Technoblade, he's the same. He always played into being like a heartless, a heartless fighter who would do anything out of greed, even backstab his own friends. And there again, he didn't, but he made it so funny, acting like he only cared about himself. I remember one time where he said, I require inter- subscribers, I require subscribers for self-validation. Please subscribe. And that one was when I subscribed because he didn't require that. It's just so funny the way he said that. I like his trash talk, but I also like the parts where he kind of pokes fun at himself. Technoblade. Just thinking about Technoblade, I'm just thinking about all his funniest funniest videos. He was one of the most people said, is Technoblade the best PvPer? He's elite. He's great. But there are some people who, instead of making content at all they do all day is hone their PvP skills. And there's actually a leaderboard for best PvPers out there. So, as someone who knows very little about PvP, I can't say that he's the best, because there are some people who just don't even post their stuff. They're just that good. They grind and get better. And I'm not saying that as an insult to Technoblade. I'm saying the reason he was good wasn't because he was the best in the world. It's because he made it so funny. He was able to talk about how useless French class was while he's dominating people at Bed Wars. He's able to talk trash while just doing stuff. He is, he was a great writer, storyteller. Take, for example, the Great Potato Wars. You're doing something so boring. Potatoes. Grinding potatoes, by all means. And yet he made it just one of the funniest things. So even though I'm not a PvPer, Technoblade is beyond a doubt one of the funniest content creators out there. And I say he is because his content is still out there. And I think that at first I was sad watching any of it, but I've just gone back to watching it. He's funny. And for some reason, the YouTube algorithm just absolutely loves him. They're putting now it's just pushing all his stuff to the top of the search results, even now. Literally. When I saw, like, recommendations from his earliest streams, that's the first time I actually thought, Technoblade never dies. That would be amazing if I could get even his earliest streams recommended to me and just go through it all. Because we're so subject to just clicking on the first thing at the top of the YouTube search results. Yeah, gotta love that guy. I need packed mud. Where's packed mud? I know you got some for me, and oh my gosh, I spaced it again, didn't I? Is it here? Could have sworn you said you got some. Oh yes, you did. Yeah, it's down there. I mean, I knew that. I was just testing you to see if you knew that. I know where everything is. Oh, my inventory is such a nightmare. There's a question. First, I was just talking about Technoblade, but now I'm worried that people might be thinking I'm talking about Technoblade to drum up views. Maybe people will be like, oh, talking about Technoblade, let's watch this stream. Although, if you're watching this stream this far in, I don't think, I think you're not just here because you love Technoblade and nothing else. Having said that, I wondered, would Technoblade resent me getting more views by using him to learn viewers? And I actually think no. He'd say, you use every advantage you have. Yes, market yourself. He wouldn't be like, no, take the moral high ground. He would just say, there's only one thing that matters. Clout. And just to let you know, in my next stream, I'm going to be doing my Bed Wars 6,000 win streak. Oh, never mind. Maybe I will. I recently started playing a bit of Bed Wars, actually. I won some games. And the first few games I played, I was like, I'd been watching streams of someone else play Bed Wars and just not winning. And I'm like, why don't you do what Technoblade does? Do those things Technoblade does. He wins so easily. When I finally joined, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do what Technoblade does. I can't believe no one else has done it. Tried it like that. They keep on losing. I try, and it's like, well, duh. He just makes it look easy. The things he does is so much harder. He just makes it look that effortless. It's like, oh, this is why people don't do what Technoblade does. He just makes it seem like it's a walk in the park. My first one pretty much came by doing nothing. And by doing nothing, I mean, for some reason, people would have their beds destroyed, and then they'd just choose to walk off into the void by themselves. So literally our bed got destroyed, but literally all I had to do to win was stand where I was and not walk into the void. Like, literally do nothing. And because our team was the least dumb of all the dumb teams there, I got my first Bed Wars victory. But after that, I came up with a pretty good strat for Bed Wars, and that is plenty of Bed Wars players um, like the thrill of it, rushing off and going after the beds, upgrading, getting the invis potions, attacking. But that has, when you're on a team with nothing but those people, none of them stay to guard the bed. So, in Bed Wars, I usually stay and just get blocks to guard the bed. I'm kind of a turtle, which might sound like an easy task, and in some cases it is, but it's an important one. If I'm being the middleman, middle girl in the situation so that people can go off and do stuff. In fact, sometimes I don't even know what to do with it. I just toss it in the team chest so they can upgrade and go out and do their crazy stuff. Well, I'm just, dipping out to get just a little bit of glass or obsidian for the bed. And then I laugh at people when I kill them. It's like, enjoy being killed by the worst PvPer in Bed Wars. Get it right. I used to try to coordinate and be like, so who's going to stay and guard the bed? Who's going to go on offense? Who's going to coordinate how you attack? There is no coordination, not even among people you know, or maybe even especially people you know. No one listens to each other. So just kind of fill in for the rule that other people do. And it is a lot of fun. Oh, thank you, Jen. Yeah, it's fun you watching us. If you ever want to play with us, trust me, we don't have a very high standard of excellence for it. Actually, I take that back. The last game I played with my teammates, they were godly. They were breaking beds. I remember 2 beds broken, 6 people, final kills, all in one outing before he died. It's like, hacks! Oh wait, it's my teammate. Nope, no hacks are being used. I need to get snow. Is there anyone who can keep snow stocked? I've seen a few people sell snow, but then they just kind of gave up. Hmm. Oh yeah, Better Words is fun. For those who aren't as good at PvP, you don't have to be good at PvT to play Bed Wars. You can just learn the blocks well and guard the bed. No matter how good someone is at PvP, they're not good enough to beat you when they're also trying to mine obsidian for several minutes. You can just be hitting them in the back to kill them. So, There are ways you can help. Another way I like helping is just standing, guarding a bridge and crouching at someone, and they'll actually make the mistake thinking I'm formidable there guarding it when they know when if they came over they'd like be able to knock me over in 5 seconds. But they don't know that. I mean, I might be a deadly PvPer, so they have to at least take me seriously, even though that's the very, very last thing they should do. I need to get some snow. Snow. Does spawn vendors please sell snow now? Snow. Oh, whoops. I think it'd be at the earth vendor. Let's see. No. Who would sell? Who would sell snow? Let's fly around the shopping district. I mean, few stacks. I should have made a snow farm. You know what? I have a good building tip. If you can't finish a build, just pretend it doesn't exist, ignore it, and completely forget about it. Oh wait, are you kidding me? You are the best. Wait, let me see something. Where is it? I know it's somewhere. Which one is, there's a home somewhere for you, I think, right? It's one of these blueberries. Yes, here's your home. You know what? Just for that, it used to be that Carm Swift's home right here was actually inescapable by Carm Swift once he got inside. But just for that, I'm actually giving Carm Swift trust. There you go, Carm. You know, if I trust you, technically, you know very well, according to these rules, that it doesn't count as griefing if you just go around blowing all my stuff up because I gave you trust. I'd be told, well, anything goes because that person has trust. You chose to trust them, so any damage done is your own fault. So you could certainly go around on stream just in the background, kind of like a best appearance, just destroying blocks. You know, if you're that kind of person. The revenge of Carm Swift. Yeah, yeah. I know you wouldn't, but you know, it's gonna be ironic. You could say to Raven, look, she's literally pointing that out, knowing of that. So what if I rained TNT Doofer down on her place? That's just fine. Although I don't think no TNT doofing isn't allowed. And blast by default is so you can't even blow. Oh nope, now you can blow stuff up. It's on, Carm. Literally, your ability to place TNT and blow it up is literally on. I mean, well, you know. If I did think you were someone who'd do that, you you wouldn't have trust. It'd be pretty funny if I was just totally wrong and you were playing the long con. Yeah. To the point where you've been a nice person even before I started being a content creator, because that's recent. You were just thinking all this time. You're being nice, all hoping it leads up to this moment that that person becomes a content creator, starts live streaming, gives me trust at her mega build, turns blast on, and then I get to rain TNT down. It's all been worth it. So that'd be pretty good clickbait. How I beat the system and destroyed a mega build in survival or something. Or maybe the cookie crumbles, the root beer no longer floats. Oh my gosh, it's getting cornier. But you know, I am gonna turn blast off. Someone found out the very hard way, and I'm gonna say this because I assume there's more builders on here than griefers, that if you have blast on, someone doesn't need permission to blow stuff up right outside your claim, and it can blow stuff up inside your claim. So you do not want the edges of your claim to have blast on, because people will take TNT and put it around your claim and blow up stuff. We saw a base, unfortunately, like that, where the outer edge was just in ruins. Some of it inside even was ruins, and we're like, how the heck did this happen? Then we realized it's because someone had not only gone around and TNT'd it, they'd also gotten a TNT launcher to to get inside and blow a ton of stuff up. Fortunately, the damage was reversed. The mods on here are very good about that. Restoring builds that have been griefed. But keep that in mind. If you have Blast on, you don't want it in a place where someone can do that. Although it's not the end of the world. That person, I'm pretty sure, got the ban they rightfully deserved, and the owner got their claim restored. But yeah, be careful about it, because it's what some people like to do. That's literally not... They like to play Minecraft and grief. There are some people who just go around to random servers trying to destroy nice builds. I don't understand why someone would do that. Boredom? Is it they're angry they can't build that well? Is it just, I feel like it might be boredom. Same way kid likes pulling off flies' wings. In real life now, it's no longer going outside and pulling off bug wings. It's going into games and griefing at all times. And that's the only thing you do all day. Go from server to server, destroying stuff. I had a friend who I considered a good acquaintance. Then they griefed. They said it was based on something I'd said or something. And it was unusual to me because I feel like even if you don't like someone, that's like destroying art. It's like you find out that the artist is someone who's done something poorly, but you don't go into the museum and burn down their works because you dislike them. Guess I take Minecraft builds pretty seriously in terms of, are they just a game building or are they art? If they take effort and you try to put creativity into them, even that, or maybe even less, it's artwork. In fact, in real life, I'm pretty good at drawing, pretty good at painting, pretty good at using mediums. And by pretty good, I just mean at an amateur level. But I actually draw out some of my Minecraft builds. I sketch them out to make a layout, even. There are some people who can't put pencil to paper and draw at all. and they're still making amazing builds. But I actually use a little bit of my drawers knowledge, and I can say making Minecraft builds is just as much of a medium as painting a painting or drawing a sketch. So, grieving to me, when someone grieves, I find it extremely boring. That's the word for it. You have nothing better to do with your time. You're just going to go around and destroy builds on a virtual game. And that's why it's also good to be on a server where, like this one, whether or not the griefer gets away with it, your build usually gets restored. I don't think I've ever had to do this on this server because I'm pretty careful about claiming my area, except for that one live stream where I found out that I literally didn't have a claim over half this candy castle, and I was live streaming it. It's like, whew, glad I don't have 10 million viewers right now, because it's public server, people could be logging on, raining TNT down on it. And I can laugh about it now, because I wasn't laughing about it then. I was playing blocks. I would have to find it first. But, you can actually RTP near it. I haven't ran a test. There was this one place, I was thinking maybe people can RTP near it, but sometimes it'll say couldn't find a safe zone, won't RTP, and I was like, what if I made that area that can be RTP'd to into something where it's not a safe zone? So I did that. I trapped the area. Not a super lethal trap, but it was just a little bit of magma. So even if an unsuspecting person were to come across it, it'd still take them like 5 minutes to die from magma block damage. Uh, I got my answer about a week ago. RTPing, having fun, looking for stuff, and suddenly I just hear me underwater, that sound where you get sucked down, and I'd finally RTP'd to that place. I'd put something there for people to grab, because I was like, I'll put a chest there and golden carrots. People RTP there, they'll see the chest and take the golden carrots. No one had. And it turned out that I might have been the first person to go into my own trap. After that, I was like, I guess trapping it doesn't make it RTP ineligible. Literally, I RTP'd right on top of the single magma block. And after that, I took it down because I was just like, now that I know people can RTP there, I'm just going to claim it. I think claiming removes that ability because I don't want to leave it unclaimed and make more people take magma block damage. Sorry if anyone died because of that, but kind of your fault. It takes like, uh, am I Tupac? No, I'm not. Insert clever retort right here. After you asked, "Am I Tupac?" and I said, "No, I'm not." I really am lost for words at that. Final Jeopardy question. Who? Oh no. Who wants to be a millionaire? Final question. Are you Tupac? No. Me, you are Tupac. We invited you on the show. You lose $1 million. No, I'm just kidding. But Tupac is actually the sponsor of the stream, so I see why you came here to ask that. Yep, the man himself. But he's not here right now. He's binging on the Hermitcraft live series right now. He plays fantasy bets on who'd win at the end. If you don't believe either that Tupac sponsored this Minecraft live stream, you can ask him yourself, and he'll actually verify it. I'm hoping he sends a few raids my way once I start becoming a Twitch streamer, if I ever do. Like and subscribe. I will hook you up with him. I will. Well, I'll try my best. I'll try my best. When he's around, I'll be sure to shout you out for him. I like Tupac. I like the people who manage to transcend the field they're in and just become known by everyone. Like, you don't need to like his stuff to just know the name Tupac. There's a few people like that where it doesn't matter if you know what he does or not, you just know their name. Although I have listened to Tupac. There's like a good example is Tiger Woods. Even if you don't know golf, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Tupac. Oh my gosh. You know that I am out of black concrete powder. I think I have them in shulkers. I also PM'd Tupac to get me some more black concrete powder, but he hasn't gotten back to me for some reason. What's up with this guy? Get to it. Root beer floats. Who doesn't love them? Root beer floats in a frosted mug on a hot day with a nice burger, some fries. Value menu. Fries and burgers at McDonald's, only $99.99 for that burger and fries. Oh yeah, the plus water. So not $99.99, well, $150.99. But don't worry, you can get 99% off with our app. Oh wait, it's not working. It's offline. Yeah, we see there's a deal, but afraid we can't give you that deal on the app. Uh, must be broken. Try again in 2030. To go to McDonald's, I'd get their salad. Um, and I had no illusions about it being healthy. That dressing makes it actually less healthy than any of the cheeseburgers or fries you can get there. But it was tasty, which is why I got it. And it was always so good. But I only went at night because during the daytimes, just kind of tasted like a tired, unhappy salad. But at night, they made it really well. Um, and it was because of the manager there. He he was a very nice fellow. He made all the employees feel like they were valued, encouraged hard work. I could tell the employees actually were enjoying it. It might be a minimum wage job, but a good boss who's nice to you and acknowledges your hard work can be more valuable than an extra 5 cents on your paycheck. It was a pleasant work environment. He encouraged them to talk, encouraged them to be nice to customers. He'd sometimes be back. He wasn't just sitting back there in a chair. He'd sometimes be making the food himself, pointing out how to make it. Never heard him be unfriendly, and I don't just mean with customers. I heard him talking in the back, and he'd be talking very nicely uh, to an employee. People liked the boss, they respected him, he made the work environment more fun, and the food was better. Uh, but it was just depression in the daytime. Um, it was like people working at McDonald's, like what you'd expect. The guy at night who encouraged his workers, made them feel valued, held them to a pretty good food standard. That's when the food tasted good. It's when you're happy to go in. Like he'd always he actually knew me. I got the salad so often. He'd even if he didn't make it, he'd come up and always throw in an extra dressing and give me a smile. It's like a guy like that is, man, is valuable to have. Eventually he left for another place. I imagine a place that either a higher paying job or a position at McDonald's that actually paid him what he deserved, because he got McDonald's employees enjoying their job. After he left, everyone who worked for him left because it became just the same sad workplace where people were just treated poorly because they were working for minimum wage and the food was bad. So there is definitely an element of a good work environment makes people want to make the food better. And you can taste it in McDonald's food. No matter how much they slash their prices now or raise their ingredients, you can taste the poor treatment of the employees in the food. It may seem simple, but effort does make the food better. After that, less salads were being bought. They put a price on extra dressing to try to make up for kind of the costs. And it's like, it's not the dressing that costs 50 extra cents. It's just keeping a nice atmosphere because people are just too used to working in minimum wage jobs where they're treated like their assets. Find bosses who can make people feel good about themselves. Happy people work harder. The food is better. It's not about the prices you set. It's so much still about how you treat the people of your company. And that's my little rant. It's a pretty selfish rant because I used to like the food there. But and honestly, when they drove the prices up till it was enough to like either get a Big Mac or drive the spaceship, I would have still been happy to pay it if it was as good as it was under that nice night manager. But they must have just not been treating their employees well either, and that's where it all starts. As for making content like this, you're your own boss. You set your own schedule. You do your own stuff. But it does come at a cost. You have to be disciplined. You have to be willing to be the one who says, okay, you have to go to work on time. You have to stream regularly. So I'm finding a balance, a good balance where I'm having just as much fun playing Minecraft, but I'm finding fun ways to stream. I don't just want to have fun playing Minecraft and then record it. I want to have fun streaming stuff to you guys. And the way I do that is blabbering on about random stuff, even though it seems like I'm talking to someone. I'm really just chattering to myself. It's like, no one's gonna like this. And then I got some feedback. Actually, you should talk even more. And it's like, what? About how McDonald's workers are treated? And Sonabello sponsoring a Candy Castle stream. It's like, yeah. It's like, okay. So that is what you get. And you get it while I'm building root beer float number. How many have I built? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th one. 3, 4. Should I finish all of these or should I start wrapping up? Might do the rest of them off camera. I have just one question for you guys. Whoops, daisies. Let's get out of here. My question is, there's a lot of this footage that I just haven't recorded, and I'm gonna make it into a smooth time lapse, or so I thought. But parts of it will be missing, so I might just kind of just quietly cut to those parts and just ignore it. In fact, even if I did a time lapse at speed 1,000, this much block placement would still take like half an hour, even with the parts cut out. So that's still something I can do. But would you be interested in seeing another format of video, like storytelling, more of a narrative going along rather than a time lapse, or would you like to see a time lapse the most? I'm gonna do a time lapse, but if anyone wants something besides that, then let me know. Because I love telling stories, and you can do that with more than just time lapses. Oh. In that case, I will do just for you, Jen, a time lapse and do a looping soundtrack of Lava Chicken. And only the part where the villager sings. I'm going to cut out the bearable part and do the villager singing part. How does that sound? I'll also show it in real time, so it will actually be hundreds of hours. Hundreds of hours of you listening to that loop. I can't use copyrighted music, but I actually heard that the music counts as in-game ambient sounds and therefore is not even under copyright, and Minecraft is just fine with you using that. So they are just fine with letting me release a 100-hour video looping Lava Chicken. I'm bringing some Bedrock features to Minecraft. I'm hoping to Java edition, and I'm hoping they bring the you can bone meal any flower directly, like you can 2 tall flowers. Hoping for that one. I'm also hoping for the colored die one. But one not everyone realize is around is the fact that you are actually able to you're able to put jukeboxes on repeat like this, where you can loop it around. And you used to only be able to do that in Bedrock, but they actually made it a feature where a hopper can put a jukebox into can put a disc into a jukebox. Let's see. And loop it forever. There we go. Just testing out game audio. Hmm. Is that how it goes? I don't know. Doesn't feel like an automated one. Mm. Man, I am not good with redstone. Is that how you do it? Mm. Hmm. Can you hear in-game sounds? Hmm. I don't know if I set the stream up right. But if you do, I'm very happy that you can hear it. I think you go like this. Goes like this. Yeah. There. Lava chicken looping forever. And with that, I'm gonna end the stream. If you want to hear Lava Chicken for all of eternity on Total Loop, and I hope you can hear it on this stream, but if you can't, then play.semisurvivalcraft.com. In fact, this is built into the entire server and is playing at all times on this server. You will spend dozens of hours listening to Lava Chicken.